Hello everyone, we are from Group 4. My name is Bintang Natasha and my friend is Chika Gaida. Today we would like to present our presentations, our project title about structuralism, titled Structuralism Saussures Analysis of the Film Mulan 2020. In these presentations, we focus on how the film constructs meaning through signs, binary oppositions, and structural patterns based on Ferdinand de Saussure's theory. The main purpose of this project is to understand how meanings in a film are systematically organized and not just created randomly. The film Mulan is a great example because the film is strongly discussed about gender, culture, and ideas through identity through visual storytelling. So, to begin with, our introductions explain that this study looks at Mulan 2020 by Niki Caro using a semiotic and structuralist approach. And following Cabaluna et al. 2022, you analyze how films communicate cultural values using signs that appear in their visual. Through Saussure's framework, we try to reveal how the film builds meaning beneath the surface, especially in reaction to how femininity and masculinity are portrayed. In this infographic, we highlight four main focuses of our analysis. First, we analyze the visual signs of the film, such as costumes, props, colors, and character actions. Those elements serve as signifiers that point to deeper cultural ideas. The second one, we examine the binary opposition that appear throughout the films, opposition like male versus female, or tradition versus freedom. They shape how we understand the narrative. And third, we map the narrative structure and look at how story follows specific cultural patterns. And the last one, we interpret cultural meanings that appear from the combination of the signs and the contrast too. Next, I will explain the Saussure science diagram shown in the infographic. Saussure introduced several important concepts, including the distinction between Langue and parole. Langue refers to the overall system, while parole refers to individual expressions. And applied to the film, this also help us to understand which elements are part of the film's structures and which one more specific to particular scenes. Here, Saussure is also showing us the importance of binary oppositions, arbitrary nature of signs, and the idea of difference. All these concepts help us to analyze and understanding how Mulan 2020 constructs meaning through its visual and narrative elements. Next.
Now I will continue with the methodology and the film analysis section. For the methodology, we use several theoretical sources, including Saussure's course in general linguistics and studies by Putri and Sarwoto, Cabaluna, and Susanti. These sources support our understanding of sign, signifier, signified, and binary opposition. In terms of operational concept, we specifically use sign, markers, indicator, and opposition to break down how the film constructs its meaning. These tools help us examine the film from a structural perspective. Moving into the film analysis, we apply this concept directly to scene in Mulan. One example we use in the is the hair scene. In this moment, Mulan hide her hair becomes a powerful sign. The action of hide the hair is signifier, and the meaning behind it, the rejection of traditional gender norms, is the signified. These examples show how a simple visual decision can represent a deeper cultural message. Beyond this scene, we also analyze several binary oppositions such as male versus female, tradition versus freedom, respect versus sacrifice, and appearance versus identity. This opposition structure the film internal conflict and highlight Mulan's struggle between societal expectation and personal identity. We also examine the narrative pattern of the film, which follow as familiar structural flow. The story begins with the status quo where Mulan lives under traditional expectation. The description occurs when the empire is threatened and she decides to join the army in the place of her father. This leads to the transformation phase where she develops her skill and discovers her identity. Finally, the film reaches a resolution as Mulan returns home and earns recognition for her bravery. By analyzing this structure, we can see how the film meaning is shaped not only by individual scene but by the way the entire story is organized. To conclude, our infographic and analysis demonstration that Saussurian structuralism is an effective approach for understanding how film create meaning on deeper level. Through sign, binary opposition, and structural patterns, Mulan construct cultural message about gender and identity in systematic way. This approach helps us move beyond simply watching the film and allows us to understand how cultural meaning are formed. Thank you for listening, and we hope this presentation give a clear perspective on how structuralism can be applied to film analysis.